sure there's notification. What is good, YouTube? This is your boy Aaron,
It's Brian.
and this is the Courtside View podcast, and we are back today to react to so much news on a Tuesday. Going up on a Tuesday, man. What? A lot of craziness going on today. I don't know what to think. Like so many trades. Amari Cooper, Davante Adams, even a small one like Cam Akers. Guys, all pros are going out for the season. It's crazy going on right now. We got a quality a quarterback that's been playing pretty good football getting benched for a washed quarterback. Like it's so much news going on that we need to talk about. I want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about the biggest news of it all. I want to talk about Davante Adams. Now, this was inevitable. We all knew that the Jets and Davante Adams, it was bound to happen. But now that we're finally to the conclusion of it, it's finally reality. We can finally react to it. So, Brian, what is your reaction to the news of Davante Adams going to the New York Jets?
Um, if I had a reaction, the reaction would be nasty work. The fact that Aaron Rodgers came into this Jets organization, pretty much took it over, Bane style. Got the head coach fired, even though he said he had nothing to do with it. Uh, Came in pretty much got to pick his offensive coordinator. Then all of a sudden Davante Adams, his old buddy from Green Bay, is on the trade block. Now all of a sudden he's linked immediately to the Jets. And I'm pretty sure once Davante Adams made it known that he wanted to play with his old buddy Aaron Rodgers went up to ownership and was like, "You better trade for this guy. I don't care if we got Gary Wilson, Allen. I don't care. You better trade for my dog." And lo and behold, that's what happened. And it just so happens, all of a sudden, Davante Adams is already in New York when the trade was announced. He's popping up in the background when Aaron Rodgers was on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
Listen, this is nasty work. This is what I'm starting to fear. I'm starting to fear that the NFL is going to turn into the NBA with these disgruntled stars wanting to ask out, and then the ownership accommodating them for not upholding their contract.
Mm,
Granted,
mm.
Davante Adams is on the back end of his career now, so it's not like he's in his prime or anything. But it still sets a bad precedent.
You're
But
absolutely right.
congratulations to the Jets. Your offense just got more dynamic. You could play Gary Wilson in the slot more. And honestly, Gary Wilson, he might be better as a slot because on the outside, he's not very he doesn't really play physical. He's a very twitchy athlete. You can really get some good matchups with him in the slot. So this honestly, Gary Wilson fantasy owners, do not panic. Do not panic. That's all I'll say.
Alan Lazard as your wide receiver 3. That sounds perfect to me. Davante Adams, they finally got themselves a true number one receiver. Garrett Wilson, he's been playing good the past 2 weeks, but they finally got a true number one that Aaron Rodgers is comfortable with. That Davante Adams, he can sort of put Garrett Wilson, say, hey, like, I can mentor you a little bit. I can show you the ropes. I can show you
The
how Aaron
nuance.
Rodgers wants you to run this route. I want to show you like some of the cadence that Aaron Rodgers that I'm familiar with, like all the little things. Like that's why they brought in Randall Cobb last year, is to teach those guys, even though Aaron Rodgers went down. But now you bring in another former Packer player that played with Aaron Rodgers, an all-pro wide receiver that plays a little similarly to Garrett Wilson. So that's really going to help him a lot. And I just love the move. I just love the move. All these people talking about, oh, Davante Adams is a diva receiver. Man, get out of here. Davante Adams, he's a good dude. He just wants to win, and I like that. And he believes he can do that with the Jets with his man Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully, they can do that. Hopefully, they can get something going. The offense looked a lot better this just yesterday against the Bills.
Yep.
It's just the kicking was awful. They couldn't get anything going when it mattered
They
most.
got
And
to clean it up in the red zone. That's the
Mike
problem.
Williams is a
They
trophy.
scored one touchdown in the red zone.
Yeah, I can't remember something like that, I guess. But Mike Williams is atrocious, and yeah, now they don't have to worry about Mike Williams. They got Garrett Wilson, they have Davante Adams, and they got Alan Lazard. So that's cool. They don't have to worry about that anymore. And hey, you never know. I mean, Marcus Valquez Scantling just got released from the Bills. I think it is. Pick him up now. He got, his hands are a little questionable, but I mean, he's better than what it looks like Mike Williams right now. So you could also get him. He's a former Packer as well. That could add to the receiving core, get a little depth to the receiving core of the Jets. It's a home run move. I just think that it's unfortunate that the Jets weren't able to win last week. Just imagine they win this past week, and then you add Davante Adams, your number one in the division. Like, just the amount of optimism from the fans and from the team itself, it will just really rejuvenate the team, the organization. But now you're playing from a deficit. Now you're down, I think, 2.5 games to the Bills. It's so much going on with that team, man. Hey, it's now or never. You're 2-4. It's time to make a run. You got Davante Adams. You got everything you wanted. You gotta live up to the bill.
Let's see how that hamstring heals up all of a sudden.
Well, it's probably going to heal up now. Well, it's probably healed now. I know that. The way he was smiling on the Pat McAfee video, he looked like he's ready to go. He's ready to lock in. According to reports, they're saying he's playing this Sunday. So, hey, it's been in the works. It's been in the works, all right. And I can't wait to see. I'm going to be rooting for the Jets. I'm rooting for the Steelers' downfall. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I think with this move, I like this move for the Jets because it obviously makes the offense more dynamic. But I can't safely say this puts them over the top simply because they don't have a head coach. Yes, I know they bought the DC up to hit, but it's not the same as like having a full off season with these dudes running the team, managing personalities and stuff. It's just a whole different spiel. And it seems like the way they're operating, it's mostly like offense with offense, defense with defense. Like, the head DC hasn't really gotten a chance to really rally all these guys together. And we in week 7 now, so
Yeah.
I mean they'll definitely they'll win probably 2 more games than they would have if they just would have kept everything the same. But I don't really think this is like a contending roster right now. Just my personal, the O line is still suspect. If they can clean up the red zone issues, they'd be much better.
The
And
flags too,
oh my goodness, the penalties last night was outrageous. I'm
bro.
like, this game should have been over 30 minutes ago.
Hey, bro, the penalty, like, there wasn't really a whole lot of penalties until we got to the fourth quarter. I'm like, yo, the Jets are actually playing very disciplined football for what we've seen them in the past year and a half. But then flag here, flag there. I'm like, damn, like, how many more flags are we going to see? And yeah, they got to clean that up, because that was one of the reasons why Robert Saleh got fired, is because the team is undisciplined. So they're like, all right, we're going to change the coach. We're going to upgrade. We're going to promote the DC to the head coach now. And then maybe that will just make the players more disciplined and more locked in. No, it didn't. The guys are still holding, pass interference, doing all types of stupid stuff. Kinlaw, bruh. Kinlaw, like, come on, man. Like, he was
He's still in
committing
the league?
flag. Yeah, man, he was on the field last night. Like, Javon Kinlaw, like, bruh, he was committing flag after flag. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I think he had a roughing the passer penalty. It was just so much stuff going on where I'm like, this is not a winning team if you keep doing stuff like that. But Davante Adams is going to help out a lot with his offense. I still think Breece Hall, the running game is going to be the same. They're still going to be able to get the running game going. I liked how Breece Hall was running against the Bills, because if you remember, with Nathaniel Hackett calling plays, he was looking washed out there. He was looking terrible. They was calling him a PPR merchant. Like, all he's good is with receptions, and that's about it. But this game, this is the Breece Hall. This is the Breece Hall I remember when I had him in fantasy last year. Like, that's the Breece Hall that was breaking tackles, that had that second acceleration, like he can break loose for like a 20-30 yard game. Like that's the Brees Hall I remember. Can catch passes, like is one of the better pass catchers for a running back. So man, that it was great to see that, but ultimately it comes down to coaching. It comes down to what Aaron Rodgers is going to do. Is he washed,
Yeah.
or is it just he needs another pass catcher? Remains to be seen. We'll see with the Steelers. Steelers, hey, that defense is no slouch now. It's one of the better defenses in the NFL. So we're gonna see next week how Aaron Rodgers fares with Davante Adams and Garrett Wilson.
Well, only one. Yeah, think about Brees had a much better game this week. Only thing I wish on that long touchdown run, I wish he just would have ran through Taylor Rapp. Like, don't even try to do, or either at least cut in earlier so you can outrun him because Taylor Rapp, he ain't catching you. Or just run through him. That little sidestep little thing, yeah, it would have probably worked on Madden, but you supposed to run through that man. But
Yeah,
other than that, though, I thought the Jets was going to win on not before the game, but during the game, I was like, oh, the Jets. I forgot
yeah,
these
me
games get
too.
real competitive, but as the Jets say, they might pull this off. But then when the game was on the line, Aaron Rodgers threw another interception.
He needs to
Now
stop throwing to Mike Williams, man.
Mike Williams, he failed somehow. I don't know how he failed, but he failed. So
Yeah,
yeah,
he ran the wrong route
and
too.
they got him up out of there. Well, he's still on the team, but they're ready to get him up out of there immediately.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of matter of fact, before we get to Steelers, I want to go to Amari Cooper trade, and
Mm.
this came out as a surprise. Like, just not that he got traded, but just the fact that he got traded now. I thought it was going to be a little bit later before they pulled a plug, but I guess the Browns are like, listen, this is a lost season. Deshaun Watson is trash. Let's get as many picks as possible. Let's tank for the number one pick. So they traded Amari Cooper. Finally, he's finally free. He's free, like AB said. Finally free, man. He was locked up for a long time. He could get away from that nasty dude up in Cleveland, and he's going to Buffalo with a good QB. Man, I have to say something because you keep talking about Amari Cooper in the cold. I mean, Cleveland kind of cold too. I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I know
That
you're
Buffalo
saying
code a
like,
little different.
man, Cleveland, man, by Lake Erie, man, that joint is freezing. Cleveland is freezing.
Well, at
That's
least they
all I
don't
gotta
get a
say.
lot of snow in Cleveland.
That is true, but man,
You
man, it
guarantee
is
you
cold.
booked in for at least one snow game playing at Buffalo.
That's true. That is true. Hopefully, it's not many, but regardless, what was your reaction to the trade? Mark Cooper going to the
Um,
Bills.
you know, I knew he was going to get traded. I didn't know the Bills were a player in this. I heard a few teams. I heard some rumors about the Chiefs, but I'm like, the Browns not going to trade with the Chiefs. Um, I heard obviously people said try to throw the Cowboys into it wasn't happening. And then the Bills kind of just came out of nowhere, in my opinion. I didn't even think they were on the market for a wide receiver. But lo and behold, they went out, paid them. It was a third round pick.
Yeah,
Ironically, which is more than the Cowboys got for him almost 3 years ago.
that
But
was a
whatever.
horrendous trade.
But whatever. Good move. Josh Allen gets another weapon, a guy that can actually create separation with his routes instead of
Mm-hmm.
having to super scheme him open like you would have to do for a Keon Coleman or Khalil Shakir, things like that. So hey, it makes the Bills more dangerous. The Bills, they struggled for 2 weeks, and even though they won last night, they said, "Listen, we still need to get help because we need more help on the offensive end because." A lot of them targets last night was going to Ray Davis and Dalton Kincaid. So the receivers didn't really get too much work out there. But yeah, man, that's a good move for them. Joe Brady's going to be able to utilize another weapon. It's crazy how you go from losing Stephon Diggs in the offseason to getting Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm. Imagine if they didn't draft Keon Coleman, they drafted like a guy like Xavier Worthy or Xavier Legette instead. Guys that could actually separate a little bit, that can run a little bit of routes. Well, I wouldn't say Xavier Worthy and Legette can run. They can run maybe one or two routes, but like in terms of separation, they can actually separate a little bit. And they can add some like a deep threat ability that Keon Coleman just can't for whatever reason, man. Just imagine they had that. But we're talking hypotheticals. I don't want to get to that, man. It's just a phenomenal trade. Like Josh Allen, I saw a tweet they were saying Josh Allen was trying to imitate Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Not have a receiving core and trying to carry like he's Superman, and it just didn't work. So they finally got him a quality receiver that he can go to that can run routes. He's like 6'2", 6'3", pretty good height for a receiver. Yeah, I like the move a lot, and hopefully Amari Cooper he can go back to his old ways that he was when he had Joe Flacco. If he could turn back to how he was with Joe Flacco, that's a home run. Because when he was with Joe Flacco, this dude, bro, he was one of the
He was going
best
crazy.
freaking receivers. I was like, damn, I haven't seen this Amari Cooper since he year one with the Cowboys. Like, what is going on? So it's definitely there. Like, he definitely has it. I just hope that he can do that with the Bills. I hope that the Bills really incorporate him to the offense and not just have him as like another guy. Because I think towards the end of the season, like with Stephon Diggs, like he sort of got. I don't know if it's because Josh Allen just wasn't cool with Stephon Diggs anymore, or because of Joe Brady's offense. The fact that Stephon Diggs, they weren't really going to him a whole lot. They were trying to spread the ball around. It felt like because Josh Allen, he wasn't trying to like force it a whole lot. They were trying to make Josh Allen a little bit more how I would say it, like Patrick Mahomes, like just take what the defense gives you per se, and not try to launch the ball 20, 50 yards every single damn time, and rely on the tight ends, rely on the running backs. I just hope that with Amari Cooper that he can get a good amount of target share and can get some touchdowns because I have him on my team. So I'm a little selfish, but if you want to win, you got to get Amari Cooper involved as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. I want to go to some other news. It's broke my heart a little bit. So the Steelers, it was announced hours ago that Russell Wilson will be getting first team reps in practice, and he will be the starter
They
for
said he was going to be the
the
starter. Or he
Steelers.
was going to be with. From what I saw, the tweet I saw, they said he was going to get some first team reps, pretty much kind of like so he can at least get an opportunity to compete for a spot for the QB1 position.
Well,
I don't
he,
recall seeing it was something that said he was going to start.
well, I think what I saw is that they were insinuating that he's pretty much going to start, and that Justin Fields is going to go to the bench. That's what I saw. So regardless, if he starts, then oh my god, like this is a disaster. Like I don't get it. I don't get why you would put Russell Wilson in such a bad offensive line. It's not like he's going to have like a whole bunch of weapons. He's going to have a quality offensive line that he can work with. If this was Russell Wilson like 10 years ago, absolutely, like no hesitation, I would start Russell Wilson because he can scramble, he can make stuff out of nothing. He was one of the better improvisers in the NFL. But this is like, what is he, 35 years old, Russell Wilson? Like the dude is old as dirt and he can barely run now. He's basically he's getting close to statue level at this point. And he's what is he, 5'10"? Like the dude is miniature size. I just don't understand it. I understand that Russell Wilson and Mike Tomlin, they had a deal. Mike Tomlin is probably staying true to his word that, hey, you're the starter no matter what. But man, like Justin Fields, bro, the team is 4-2 under him, and he is able to just take a negative and make it a positive. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. Does he take too long to read defenses? Absolutely. But overall, just his ability to utilize his legs and his ability with his arm to just make big play after big play at times, I just think it's a missed opportunity for the Steelers in that they're gonna wish that they not make this decision because against the Jets are going, man, they hungry. They ready. They coming for blood. They're like, yo,
Yeah,
we gotta win these games. This is a do or die game for the Jets. And for you to put Russell Wilson in, oh my God. God bless him.
This is okay. So I see a tweet from Adam Schefter says Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin said Russell Wilson is in consideration to start Sunday night's game against the Jets. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like seriously, Justin Fields has 10 total touchdowns, only one interception, by the way. He's completing 66% of his passes. And honestly, can you truly say, yes, he has a little fumble problem, but I mean, it'll smooth over the season, hopefully. But like, can you truthfully say that the games that the Steelers lost was full single-handedly Justin Fields' fault? I don't think you can. I really don't. I don't understand why this dude. I know Russ, the veteran, superiority, blah blah blah, all that crap. Let me tell you something. I don't think Russ is going to be playing any much better ball than Justin Fields is. And the fact that you're going to try to throw Russ in there against a pass rush like the Jets, and Russ can barely move, and he's coming off a calf injury, that doesn't even make sense to me.
Mm-mm.
And if why all of a sudden this week, if Russ, my thing is Russ was suited up on the sidelines. Was he just wearing a uniform just because? Or what? I don't understand what's going on with that. Why all of a sudden now you want to throw Russ into the fire against a team that got so much momentum coming? They arguably got more momentum than you, even though they've been losing games. Because now they got Davante Adams, and they fired up now, all this other stuff. But I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. Like no one wants to see Russ play football in 2024. Like let's be honest here. We seen what it was when he was in Denver. Sean Payton couldn't fix him. He's cooked food. I'm sorry.
Right. And then you have Arthur Smith as the play caller. Like, come on now. Like, you think that's a match? Like him and Russell Wilson are going to be a match? I prefer Justin Fields over Russell Wilson because Justin Fields, he can overcome certain things that just the Steelers offense is lacking. And for Mike Tomlin to do this, I mean, I get it. Like you're a man of your word, but good God, at the detriment of your team. Like, I wonder what the locker room is feeling right now because all
They
I hear is
probably
like Justin
confused
Fields.
too.
Yeah, all I'm
I
hearing.
mean, all
Yeah,
the teammates have been coming out in support of Justin Fields and all this other stuff, and then you do this. Like, why? What are we doing here? And like you limiting your offense because, for like you just said, for Arthur Smith's failures as far as scheming up routes and stuff, at least Justin Fields can scramble.
yeah,
Russ
and
will
he can move
create
on the
more
run.
sacks than trying to do extra stuff in the pocket. Justin Fields, he's mobile, but he doesn't create sacks like Russ does.
No, no. And that was the thing. Like I remember, like when he was with the Bears, people were complaining, "Oh my God, he runs into sacks," and he did run into sacks. But like this season, like he's done a better job of like protecting himself, making sure he doesn't run into sacks too much. Russell Wilson, I just don't see how this benefits him at all because too many times that Steelers offensive line has got beat. Broderick Jones, like all them dudes, man, like they just can't protect Justin Fields for too long, and it's going to come back to bite him if they do in fact start Russell Wilson. I don't know if Mike Tomlin's trying to prove a point, like, oh, Russell Wilson is washed, so once he looks terrible this game, I'm gonna keep Justin Fields as a starter for the remainder of the season. But man, like when, like these
But
are grown men.
even still, if that was the case, if you wanted to show that he was, just come out and say, yeah, he ain't practiced good enough. We're sticking with Justin Fields.
And then it's the regular season. Bro. Like every win is important, every loss is important. Like it is important to get as many wins as possible. And for you to experiment during the middle of the season, it's just a major, major risk for a quarterback that we've seen for the past 3-4 years not look like himself. I just don't see it at all, man. But yeah. Let's go to finally. Let's react to the games for week 6. Here we go.
We
I want
did
to
pretty well
yeah.
for ourselves
Yo,
this week.
let's talk about the picks. I was 11-3. What?
I did 12-2.
when I did the math, I think that's like around 78%. Like what?
Yeah.
Yo, hey, if you bet on games this week, I'm talking about like you bet the mid-level. Man, it was a
You
great
mean
week
money
to bet.
line? The
That's
Lakers
it,
has
man. I
corrupted
keep
him.
I keep doing that so much because they both money line is ML, mid level is ML, so I get them mixed
Mhm.
up. Money line. If you bet the money line, it was a great week for you because oh my god, like it was every game. I mean, for the most part, like the
They
favorites
turned out how
won.
it's supposed to, right?
Yeah, I just wish if I would have picked the Colts, I should have known. Like Joe Flacco, he started, and I was like, but Jacksonville beat him.
Well, I
I
didn't
shouldn't have
even know Joe
overthought that.
Flacco was starting.
Yeah, I also thought that. Yeah, I also thought Anthony Richardson was going to play, but I guess the coach is like, "Hey, Joe Flacco playing well. You can heal that injury for a little bit longer. Sit down, bud, and watch a pro play." And then I think another game, obviously the Seattle game, I was
I
wrong
got the
about.
I got the Chargers game wrong. I picked the Broncos.
Yeah, me too. I picked the Broncos as well. That was another
Defense
one where
got
I
cooked.
thought, yeah, and see that, and I was conflicted about that game because I was like, man, like it's a coin toss, but like they got the better quarterback. But then again, they're on the road. It's like, ugh. But yeah, man. And then what was the? It was the
You got the
what was another
Bills
game they
wrong.
got?
You picked the Jets, didn't you?
No. I picked the Bills. Hell no, I
Oh,
ain't
you
picked the
picked the Bills?
Jets. Yeah,
You
what was
sure?
another game? Oh, absolutely not. I did not pick the Jets. Absolutely not.
Oh, I know you
Hell
ain't
no,
picked
I
the
ain't picked.
Giants.
Absolutely not. No, I picked the Bengals for sure. I picked the Bengals for sure. I think those. Yeah. So I got the what was another game? So yeah, that was about it for me. Like I was wrong about the Seahawks, I was wrong about the
Oh,
Titans,
yeah, the
and then
Seahawks.
I
You
was
picked the
wrong
Seahawks.
about the Broncos. Like so yeah. It was a good week. It
Yeah,
was a really good week. I won some money too. So yeah, it was a good week for me, man. It
yeah.
was a really
I
good
lost
week.
my fantasy matchup though.
Lost my fantasy matchup too. Shout out to Stephen A for winning me money. Shout out to you, man.
What Stephen A do?
So on ESPN Bet they have them little promo jumps.
Oh, okay.
So like Stephen A had one where it was like Amari anytime touchdown. I think it was like Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery like having a certain amount of yards. I think it was like 50 yards or something like that.
Hmm,
And I think it was like plus 400 and something. I took the bet. I was like, that sounds like a good
it's
bet.
not bad. Yeah.
And I put 5 on it and I won about like it was like a little small bet. I won like $30 from it. So, I was
It's
able to
better
get
than
something.
nothing. Yeah.
But Kirk Cousins, oh my God, I put a bet on him and all he had to do was give me another touchdown. All he had to do was give me another touchdown. But he screwed me over. He
Of course,
Bijan and
all of a sudden they picked this game to get the run game to get going.
going. Algier and Bijan had to steal touchdowns from me. That's just great. You know what I'm saying?
They had 3 touchdowns on the ground.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to the games. I want to talk about the first game. I want to talk about the Bears and the Jaguars. I knew the Bears were going to win this game. I don't give a damn that Jacksonville usually plays well in London. Jacksonville is awful. It does not matter what home field advantage they have. They're just an awful football team.
Well,
Trevor
question:
Lawrence.
Is this
Yeah.
the first or the second game they played in London? This the first one, right?
First game. This was the
Okay,
first
okay.
one. Next week is the second one, which is against the Patriots, which I will not be watching. I'll probably watch
I'm
the
gonna be
end,
getting some
but
good sleep. I will be getting
I'm
good
gonna be
sleep in
getting
that
me
first
some
half.
good sleep. Yeah, I'm getting me some good sleep. Man, this was an amazing performance for just Caleb Williams. Like 4 touchdown passes. He threw that horrendous interception. He was trying to get DJ Moore. If he would have threw it a little bit better, I would have had a touchdown to DJ Moore. I was sick about that because I have DJ Moore in fantasy. Probably would have won my matchup if DJ Moore caught that pass. Oh yeah, and also scored. But he had his elbow down towards the goal line. So yeah, I got screwed over on that one. Thank you, DJ Moore. But yeah, Caleb Williams, he was amazing that game. 4 touchdown passes, over 200 yards passing. By far his best game of the season. And the Jacksonville Jaguars are just a complete mess. there's nothing good about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Evan Ingram was able to get it going though, 10 receptions,
Yeah,
102 yards, so that's great. But
Gabe Davis had 2 touchdowns
yeah,
of
yeah.
all
But
people.
everything else was awful. Just your reaction to the game. How did you feel about this game?
Um, Honestly, I'm not surprised. I picked the Bears to win convincingly, and they did what they did. I said Caleb was probably going to have a really good game because the Jacksonville defense is not what it's all cracked up to be. Um, Trevor Lawrence, he didn't play as horrible as people would think, but he still didn't do enough to win. And that's just what it is. Oh my gosh, they could not run the ball to save their life. I mean, come on
Mm.
now. 68 yards on the ground as a unit, 3.4 yards. You ain't beat nobody with them type of stats. I'm sorry. Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball 35 times, not a recipe for success. And as you can see, they just couldn't do nothing with the Bears. I mean, it was they tried, but Caleb and company would come back down there and just score almost immediately. And that's just how this game went. I mean, I'm surprised there aren't any firings announced right now.
That's a
The
good point.
Jags are they are cooked. One in five, you're done. You're
Maybe
done.
they're like, hey, let's tank for this number one pick. We're 1-5. Hey, let's keep Doug Peterson until the end of the season. We can get the number
And then,
one
and then
pick, and we could do some
who they
things.
going to draft with the number one pick? Travis Hunter ain't saving him.
Shit, you could trade the number one pick, get some more picks. You never
Oh,
know.
that is true.
They need a lot. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, trade that number one pick.
QB.
DeAndre Swift, another great week. It seems like that that benching really woke him up, and now he's playing like a good starting running back. So DeAndre Swift, he's looking good. Yeah, I got nothing else really to talk about with Jacksonville. I mean, I feel like we've kicked them down too much that it's becoming quite old.
It's
Everybody knows they're
harassment at
awful.
this point.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is we all know like he has regressed. He's not what people thought he was, and Doug Peterson is a fraud. There's a reason why the Eagles fired him. And he just took everything that he did with the Eagles and put it in Jacksonville. And the way Carson Wentz has regressed, now Trevor Lawrence is regressing. So it's a common theme. All right, I want to go to the next game, my game, the Cardinals versus Packers. I got to say this. All my Packers fans, stand up. Now sit down because I got to tell you the truth about something. I could come here and be all excited, like, yeah, we dominate the Cardinals. Look at our defense, but I'm not gonna sit here and be happy about what I saw. The offense was tremendous, obviously. Like Jordan Love, 4 touchdown passes, second in the league in passing touchdowns, and he missed a couple of games. Tremendous, absolutely tremendous. Josh Jacobs, he was okay. Jaden Reed, he was okay. Romeo Dobbs, hey man, I'm glad to see you. It seems like seems like something was going on in his life, and the team is they're like, hey, whatever's going on with your life, we'll be right with you, bro. Like you're our brother. So I love that sort of family element of it all with the team and their teammates coming to their defense. But I have to say something, and this has me concerned about the team. The defense. The defense was outstanding, but this defense is not built for the playoffs. This is not a
Uh-oh.
championship defense. I looked at the stats. We had only one QB hit. Now I can't find the stat for QB pressures for whatever reason. These ESPN and Football Reference don't want to show QB pressures.
Did you
But
check next gen stats?
I checked next gen. I couldn't find it.
Oh.
Where is it? Where is it?
Oh,
Unless they only show.
you might have to pay. It might be on. I'm pretty sure it's on premium for PFF, but ain't nobody paying for that.
I ain't paying for that.
I'll try to
But
look
yeah,
up.
like I don't know why they be hoeing us on these QB pressures because that's like a major stat. But regardless, we had one QB hit. We had 0 sacks. You're not going to win a championship if you cannot get to the quarterback. I don't care how good your scheme is. I don't care how good your secondary and your linebacking core. If you cannot get to the quarterback or at least make it uncomfortable for the quarterback while they're in the pocket, you're not going to win big. I'm telling you this right now because this Packers defense, great fantasy defense. I like the scheme a lot with Jeff Hafley, but them dudes that are down in the dirt, I'm talking about Rashawn Gary. I'm talking about Lucas Van Ness. I'm talking about Preston Smith. All you dudes, Kenny Clark, all you brothers. Y'all gotta do something. Like, come on, man. It's getting ridiculous right now because 0 sacks. How did you let that happen against a inferior Cardinals offense? Come on, man. Like, I don't care how good Kyler Murray is at scrambling. You got to get 1 sack at least. And that's how I'm looking at this game. I'm being very harsh on this team because I know how good they can be. I understand, like, this team, they're competing for a championship. And you have to look, no matter if you win or lose, you still have to pay attention to the flaws of your team. And you have to acknowledge the flaws of your team and the fact that this defense is not built for the playoffs and they will get exposed eventually. Against Minnesota, the second half was amazing, absolutely. But again, they got exposed in that first half. And if you want to beat Minnesota, if you want to beat San Francisco, if you want to beat Detroit, you have to get to the quarterback, man. And this team right now, I'm not confident. I'm not confident because you can't just keep leaning on the offense for everything. And it's frustrating.
Yeah, I was trying to find that pressure stat for you.
Oh
I
yeah.
couldn't really
No, it's all
find
good.
much, but yeah, I was watching this game on Red Zone, so I was only seeing the highlights. So I'm gonna trust your
Yeah.
word. I still, from what I've seen, on like articles and stuff, they say that y'all still aren't getting much pressure, honestly, in pass rush. You actually have. I saw the stat was from about 4 or 5 days ago. So I'm pretty sure it probably didn't change much. It said y'all were the worst in the league in pass rush win rate, and the only way y'all get pressure is if you send five, aka blitzing. So yeah, that's not a
I
that's
said
not a
a week ago. I said they have to be force fed. They have to be schemed. This is what the Packers need. They need to trade for somebody because you can't just keep relying on these pass rushers. If they're not gonna be able to get to the quarterback, you gotta trade for somebody because this right now is getting ridiculous. The Cardinals offense is just bad. Like it is beyond broken to the point where I don't know why I don't even know why they still have that guy calling plays. I don't get it because he's terrible. He's just awful. He is a terrorist. He is committing a crime right now towards Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., and the entire office because he is awful. Man, oh God, we talked
yeah,
about this
he's doo doo.
before, but how do you have all these weapons and you still just can't figure out a way to get your guys schemed open?
It's
It's
incompetence.
frustrating.
That's what it
And
is. Blatant incompetence.
Kyler Murray is one of the better dual threat quarterbacks. He's fast, he's electric, and he seems inferior, man. It just seems like there's something missing. And that goes
Kyler
to the
Murray,
offense coordinator.
he hasn't been playing the best, I would say.
Mm-mm.
He's definitely been a little off the mark. Like there was a stat that said percentage of targets that were deemed uncatchable, and Trey McBride was like 37%. Marvin Harrison Jr. was like 33, 34%. That's pretty freaking high. So
That sounds
yeah,
about right.
Kyler Murray,
That sounds
yeah,
about right.
Kyler Murray he got to do better.
Because
But the play
I
calling
watched the
isn't helping
game.
this case.
Yeah, I watched the games, and that's definitely sounds about right because it seems like although he is trying to throw to Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride, dude, like a lot of the passes are just uncatchable, and it seems common theme when it comes to this team is just the fact that they're not able. Like he's trying to get his best players the ball, but the offensive scheme isn't working for them. And how are you
It's
gonna win like that?
Kyler isn't a Superman QB. It's like five, maybe five Superman QBs in the league. Kyler Murray is not cut from that cloth. I know he had everywhere he's been, from college, he had a bunch of talent around him at Oklahoma. But yeah, this coordinator, you got to give him some layups because you try to put everything on Kyler's shoulders, he will show you the worst parts of his game, and as you can see, it's starting to unfold. He's starting to look like how he did the second half of the season when Cliff Kingsbury was the coach.
Yeah, and we're getting close to Call of Duty season. Like, come on now, like, yo, you gotta do something to help him out, or else he gonna he gonna stop locking in and start playing Call of Duty again, bro. Like, you gotta help him out
It's
because
funny because once people started saying, "Oh, the joke is dead now," he go announcing he got a sponsorship with Call of Duty. Oh my goodness!
it writes itself. All right, I want to go to the well, we don't have to spend a whole lot of time with the Colts and
Yeah,
Titans. I mean,
a lot of these
I
games was
mean,
pretty
come
cut
on,
and
man.
dry from the beginning.
Will Levis is trash. Calvin Ridley's complaining about I'm not getting enough targets. They're not putting me involved in the offense enough. You signed to that team. You knew that they were not good. You knew Will Levis wasn't good. Like I don't get it. Like you went from Jacksonville that's not good to the Titans that's not good. Like what do you expect, bro? You took the money and you ran, and now you have to face your consequences. All right, I want to go. Let's see what we got here. Texans, obviously, like Drake May, 3 touchdown passes.
Not
Better,
bad,
he had
not
a better
bad.
performance than Caleb Williams. I know that for sure against that team. He still threw some interceptions though, but 3 touchdown passes
Did
is
did
three
did
touchdown
Bobby
passes.
did Bobby Slowick start to redeem himself?
I
41
mean,
points,
41
man.
points is a
Yeah,
hell of a lot.
they got the
So
run game going.
Joe Mixon, that's
Joe
another thing.
Mixon,
Joe
yeah.
Mixon is back. That helps a lot.
Then they trade
CJ
Cam
Stroud,
Akers. So I guess
yeah.
they want to rock with Ogun. I don't know how to pronounce the name.
Davian
Ogunbowale, I think
Pearson
it
and
is, and
dude
Damien
and
Pierce.
dude,
Yeah.
yeah, Owukawale, whatever his name is. Yeah. I guess so. I guess because Damian Pierce, he finally healthy again, so they feel like we don't need
Yeah.
Cam Akers
Drop
anymore.
drop 41
Yes,
without Nico Collins, your number one dude. Hey, respect.
that's hella impressive. And CJ Stroud had 3 touchdown passes. He was tremendous this game. Honestly, I'm putting CJ Stroud in my top five, like top five
I
QBs right
mean,
now.
it shouldn't really be that controversial. I'd have him there too.
But some people gonna have Justin Herbert in there. I just think
Oh,
CJ Stroud is a
brother.
baller. I just think CJ Stroud, he just has that it factor. Like he just has that ability to just kill you and to just make any throw that you need him to make. Like it looks effortless. He's not afraid to take any chance. He can make any type of throw. I just like him more than Justin Herbert. That's just me, and I just feel like he's a little bit better than Justin Herbert. So,
I feel like
yep,
he's playing better than him at the very least.
yeah, yeah. Buccaneers and Saints. So this one was funny. So the
Spencer
Saints were
Rattler,
in
he
the lead.
surprised me.
Yeah, the Saints were in the lead, and then Baker Mayfield, he turned back to Oklahoma Baker Mayfield, and he said, "Watch this." 4 touchdown passes, threw like 3 interceptions, though.
Yeah,
My goodness. But 4 touchdown passes, and 51 points is 51 points. Bucky Irvin was getting it going. What's his name? Tucker was
Trey
getting it going. Like,
Tucker.
bro, yeah, I'm like, who the hell is this guy? 136 yards and 1 touchdown on 14 carries. Chris Godwin, he's fine, man.
He was
Chris
going
Godwin,
crazy.
I haven't seen him like this since before Brady came to the helm. Like he's back to that form again. I thought he was kind of cooked, but boy, Baker,
He's playing good. Yeah.
he has really he's the quarterback that you want now. Because I remember when on the Browns, it was the other way. It was like, he making Odell look bad. He making this guy look bad. But with Tampa Bay, this dude is letting it fly. One of the better QBs in the NFL. Just how you feel about this game?
This game, Listen, the Saints, they honestly aren't that good in my opinion. So I mean, I kind of expect the Buccaneers to get out on them, but
Yeah.
not 51 points. But and they were starting a rookie QB, Spencer Rattler. He did have he played pretty well for his first start against a division opponent, and especially since Chris Olave went out early in the game. So hey, salute to the young QB. But yeah, I mean the Saints is the Saints. Dennis Allen should have been fired. I don't know why they decided to run it back with him and thought something was going to be different. But yeah, I mean, it's just what it is. What it is. Salute to the Buccaneers, man. Baker Mayfield put up big points. He's honestly, it's funny. He's a top 5 fantasy QB. Who would have thought Baker Mayfield top 5 fantasy QB? Oh, he top 10 QB in the he's playing like a top 10 QB in the league. Period.
Yeah, it's facts. It's funny. So somebody in our comment section on YouTube reacted to one of the videos that we did. I think it was something involving the Saints where the title of the video was like, oh, they got exposed or something, and they were like saying all this stuff like, oh, we're missing this, we're missing that. And I think I commented saying like, okay, I appreciate your optimism, but pretty much like we're not believers, and so sort of took shots at you. Like they thought you were the one that was commenting, talking about, oh, taking shots towards the Cowboys and stuff. I was just wondering.
Uh,
I was just wondering how you feel seeing that the Saints got their ass whooped. And this Saints man, he was like, man, just wait. We're going to get better. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And just taking shots at you in the comment section. Just
well,
how do you feel
well,
about this just outcome?
we're gonna get to the Cowboys later. I got a lot to say about them. But for the Saints, I mean, they had a cool 2 weeks, but you look at the team composition. You got Cam Jordan he out there rushing the passer and starting at edge. I mean, come on now. Cam Jordan, he's cooked food. Like seriously. Like I don't like it was a play. He just couldn't get any. I don't know what he was doing out there. I'm like, is he trying to rush what is he trying to do exactly? And your offensive weapons, Rashid Shaheed, he's a good weapon to have, but he's not a number one guy. Chris Olave went out. Y'all was cooked after that. So I mean, it is what it is, man. The Saints. Yeah, I know the first 2 weeks was fun. Y'all really thought it was gonna go for y'all, but like, you pretty much in the same boat with them Cowboys. You beat the brakes off of us, and look at you. It ain't so fun when a rabbit got the gun, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, listen. You beat 2 trash teams. Congratulations. Raise the banner.
Yo shit.
Listen, I have no problem admitting my team suck. What? I have no problem admitting them Cowboys is trash. So people trying to, oh, you fool for the cow. I don't care. Like that doesn't do nothing to me in 2024. We stink. Oh yes, I want to purposefully lose because at this point winning would be pointless. So I have no reason accepting that the Cowboys stink. But you still living in the Nile isn't just a river in Egypt, So if you want to have faith in them Saints, go be my guest. But you got to wake up and smell the coffee eventually. Spencer Rattler, he'll be good for y'all though. I think y'all should, if he continues to play good and progress well. When Derek Carr, honestly, you might have to just ride it out, but pause because Derek Carr, we already know what he is.
Yeah, he's mid. That's what he is, and Derek Carr. Well, Spencer Rattler, he needs to cut down the turnovers. I know that for sure because he was turning the ball over a little too much. He is a rookie, but if you want to win these games, you got to turn the ball over.
So,
yeah. They had the lead at one point.
That is true. It was like
but he was turning the ball over.
Yeah.
So, man. All right, I want to go to let's get to Eagles versus Browns. Oh my God. This game right here. Toilet bowl. AJ Brown came back. He's still AJ Brown. He does 3 routes, but it works every time. You know what I'm saying? And, 6 receptions for 116 yards, 1 touchdown. The Browns are just cooked. We already know this. Like Amari Cooper got traded for a reason. Nick Sirianni talking trash to your own fan base. What's going on? Like, is he really?
I did see something about. Okay, so
Here we
obviously take
go.
this with a grain of salt because it is a anonymous um post. It was on Reddit, but he said he was the person. He pointed out what seats he was in and everything, and I get it all matched up. But he said he was telling Nick Sirianni it was like a TV timeout early in the game, and it was after the Eagles ran for it on first down. They got 5 yards. Then I think they passed it 2 more times, and then turned the ball and had to punt the ball or whatever. And he was like, "Run the ball." He said if your superstar running back has 5 yards on the gets 5 yards on the first down, run the ball and then run the ball. And then Nick Sirianni turned around and said, "This is early in the game, mind you." We're going to run the ball, something like that. He yelled it to the fan, "We're going to run the ball." And then he said, once the game was over, Nick Sirianni turned around saying, "See what I see? I said we was going to run the ball, yada yada yada." So he said he wasn't like yelling at the fan, like taunting them per se. He was just, I guess, hype or whatever.
Mm.
I don't,
Okay,
like I said,
all
take a
right.
grain of salt, but I mean, hey,
You never know. The media takes things out of context all the time. I mean,
yeah,
look at CeeDee Lamb with Dak. They do it all the time.
yeah.
So, I mean, that wouldn't be surprising at all. I do think the post game where he had his family, he has all his kids. I'm like, all right, man. Like, I hate when athletes do that. I hate when coaches do that because they know that the media is not going to be as harsh towards them because you got your kids there. Like, man up. You in Philly?
They said this is something he does on a regular after wins or something like that.
Really,
But like still,
really.
yeah, they say he does that at home games after the games and stuff at times. But the timing is just a little funny. That's all.
It is. It's definitely a little funny. All right, but I'm not going to harp
But
on too much.
back to actual product on the field.
Yeah, for
Leave it to
sure,
the
for sure.
Eagles to be in a dogfight with the daggone Cleveland Browns
Cleveland
in
Browns, yeah.
2024. Uh, man, I don't understand what's going on. I really don't. Like, I honestly, I ain't watched the game because I was watching the Commanders and Ravens
Me too.
game, and they were on
Me
at the
too.
same time, so I didn't really see too much. But you only scored 20 points at home
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
against the Browns, and shoot, they almost beat y'all. Like, I really don't understand. Jalen Hurts, he didn't play horrible.
No,
He
he
had he
didn't.
had 16, 25, no turnovers at least, so that's good. But the run game, ugh.
Yeah, yeah.
You
Saquon,
had
47
3.2,
yards, 18 carries.
2.6 yards a carry from your superstar running back. I don't know about that one. Yeah, man, AJ Brown came and saved the day
Literally,
because
like he
boy,
is. You know how they say
he's
Tyreek
bat.
be saving
Ain't his name
Tua.
like Batman or something? Yeah.
Yeah, you know how they say Tyreek be saving Tua. AJ Brown be
Mm-hmm.
saving Jalen Hurts. It's the
It's
same
it
damn
might be
thing.
safe to say they might have lost this game without AJ Brown.
Them Alabama QBs, they need that number one receiver. They need them talented receivers because boy oh boy, if they didn't have AJ Brown, it would have been raps.
Yeah, the fact that this game was this close is kind of concerning. No, and especially if coming off it was on a yeah, they was coming off a bye week. You think you'd come out a little more stronger than this, but yeah, that's something else.
Ugly
This
win,
game being so close, yeah, very ugly win.
very ugly win. Okay, well let's go to the game of the week: Ravens versus Commanders. We
Oh,
knew
I
we
thought
knew
you
it
were
was going to
talking.
happen, huh?
Oh no, I
What
thought
you
you
say?
a game, but I thought you was being sarcastic. You was about to talk about that team in Dallas, but okay, you go
No,
ahead.
I wasn't going. I wasn't going to try to hurt. I wasn't going to do that to you. I wasn't going to do that to you. But Commanders versus Ravens. We knew how this was
What's
going
that
to
saying
end.
about the Chrysler 300 in the Phantom?
Yeah, yeah. That was literally what the game was. But I mean, I thought Dane Daniels he played a pretty
Yeah,
solid
they,
game
he
for it,
played pretty well.
given the circumstances. But Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. 20,
Yeah,
20 26, 323, one touchdown. Derrick Henry was dominant, 132 on the ground, 2 touchdowns. Zay
Best
Flowers, 9
fantasy
receptions,
pick.
132 yards. That corner for the Commanders,
St.
he's
Juice.
awful. Yeah, he's very awful. And the fact that his name is that, yeah, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. But anywho, yeah, Lamar Jackson is just continuing his MVP campaign. He, if all else fails, if he keeps going on this trajectory, there's nobody that's going to overtake him as the MVP. Like nobody, not
Yeah.
Derrick Henry, not Patrick, not Josh. I said Patrick Mahomes. What am I talking about? Not any QB, not no running back, not no wide receiver. Nobody's going to overtake Lamar Jackson. He's been that good. And just what was your thoughts on this game?
Um, it's funny because this was a pretty solid game. The Commanders they played tough. They played tough out there. They did their best. The offense was a little more stagnant in the passing game this game. Not really dudes that had like Zach Ertz had the most receiving yards for them. Um, the run game. Now I don't know if I said this or not, but I was like, if the Commanders have any shot, they're going to have to run the ball efficiently. They didn't do
Mm-hmm.
so as much. Could that be contributed the fact they didn't have Brian Robinson Jr.?
Yeah.
Possibly, but they had as a whole team they had 2.9 yards per carry. Not ideal. And Jaden Daniels he continued to play turnover free football, but there was a lot of times he got sacked. Staring down and looking down the
Yeah.
field he wasn't recognizing he wasn't sensing the pressure properly, and he took a few
Mm-hmm.
sacks on that. And I was like, but he's a rookie though. That'll get better as when you get more
Yeah.
and more reps in the league and stuff like that. But I don't think the Commanders play bad. Honestly, they shouldn't. They don't have anything to hang their head down on. You're still 4-2, leading the division, and one of the better playing teams in the NFC in general, not just the NFC East. So honestly, they shouldn't. They should feel confident. Like, hey, you played a team, one of the top teams in the NFC, and you competed, and you was low key in it until the end. So,
Yeah.
hey, salute. But the
Well
Ravens, the
said.
Ravens played great. The Ravens played great. You could really see the difference in experience between the two QBs. Even though Lamar did turn the ball over, but I want to say,
Yeah, that
was that
wasn't
off
his
a tip
fault.
pass?
That
Yeah,
that was
that was
not
off
his
a tip
fault.
pass.
Yeah,
So
tip
yeah,
pass.
that wasn't his fault. But man, Derrick Henry continues and continues week after week. He's looking like he did back in Tennessee. That year he had
Yeah.
2,000 yards. They actually say he's on
He's a
pace to
freak
get
of nature.
2,000 yards again. So yeah, Derrick Henry, man, what a fantasy pick in the second
Nah,
round. Mm, mm, mm.
nah. He's a freak of nature, dude. He's a freak of
Yeah, man.
nature. Like
Great.
he's built different.
He messed around, win offensive player of the year. I mean, he's in the league right now. So
Yeah, he is. He is. And with Derrick Henry, like not many running backs have a longevity of Derrick Henry. Like he's 30,
not at all.
31, and he's still playing like he's 26, 27. That is rare air. Like just the other
But
day, like just the other game, like he had like a what was it, 80-yard run. Like dude is 31 getting 80-yard run touchdowns. Like that's unheard of. And that was the longest run in Ravens history for a running back.
I think it was
So
a 90-yard touchdown actually.
90, not shit, 90 yard, 80 yard. Man, that is crazy for his age. And he's like 6'3", and dude's like a power back. Like he's just a
Yeah.
freaking nature, the Lex we've never seen before. And he's gonna continue dominating. I just hope he remains healthy. Hope he can remain just having this ability that he has because they're gonna
See,
need it against the Chiefs.
the thing is that I think what's really helping him a lot is that the fact that the person handing the ball to him is a guy of a caliber of a
Lamar
Lamar
Jackson.
Jackson. Because back in Tennessee, he had Tannehill. Tannehill, he was a little mobile, but you wasn't really worried about him pulling and making it. But Lamar's like, you got to guard two. Dang,
Great runners.
they're too great. But no, I was about to make a reference to some anime. It was like something level threat, but I can't remember what it was. But yeah, you got to really play
Omega
discipline.
level.
Yeah, exactly. Omega level
Omega
threats
level.
right there because they get
Yeah.
you, they gas you 10 plus easy. And that's and the offense
So
and the fact that the offensive line is clearly better on the Ravens than it was on the Titans. So yeah, man, they get you in so many ways, and it's really helping Derrick Henry. He's not having to run 30, carry the ball 30 times a game like in Tennessee because they had no semblance of a passing offense. So yeah, man, I like how they don't keep him in on third downs. He gets a lot more rest now. So yeah, man, it's pretty good. I think I'm pretty sure he'll survive. He'll manage the whole season rather well. Just keep getting them
Mm-hmm.
touchdowns. Just one touchdown a week, Derrick Henry. We good. We good.
All right, all right, yeah, okay. I don't want to talk too much about this Chargers Broncos game. Just the fact that Bo Nix is garbage. He's boo boo, and Justin Herbert is Justin Herbert. I should have bet on the team with the better quarterback, and J.K. Dobbins was able to get it going a little bit, and that's about it for me. I don't really need to say much about this game
Yeah,
because
me either.
these two teams are, uh, you know. I want to go to the Steelers versus Raiders game. The Steelers, they were dominant this game. This game was mostly like Justin Fields utilizing his leg more than his arm. He had like I think 140, 150 yards passing. Not too much, but he was really running the ball a lot. He was very effective this game. I think he had 2 rushing touchdowns. Yep, he did. 11 carries on 59 yards, 145 yards passing, 14 for 24, no interceptions. So normal Justin Fields game, dual threat, not much of a merchant when it comes to the passing yards, but he utilized his legs. And Najee Harris, he was very effective this game. 14 carries on 106 yards and a touchdown. We don't normally see that from Najee Harris. I haven't seen Najee Harris run the ball like that since Alabama. So
Let me tell you something. If you are in 2024 giving up 100 yards to Najee Harris, you cooked food. It's over.
mm, yeah,
Yeah, the
facts.
Raiders are
Yeah, the
horrible.
Raiders, they're done.
Antonio Pierce.
Yeah,
I hope you saving up that coaching money because you out of there after this year. They set you up,
you
man.
don't
They
have
they
much
went to
money
bat for
anyway.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, he ain't making that much, but the team rallied
yeah,
for you, and all of a sudden, yeah, we won AP, and then this is how they perform on the field. You kidding me?
yeah.
So
Aiden
and Brady just
O'Connell is your
bought in,
quarterback.
he just bought in some stake in the Raiders. Once the season is over, AP is out of there, and they're gonna bring one of them Shanahan tree guys or something, and then yeah,
Yeah, man. 40 times, 40 passing attempts for Aiden O'Connell. You're not going to win that way. Like, that's just not going to happen. Alexander Madison is your starting running back. What the hell is this? Like, Brock Bowers, he's amazing. He's outstanding. But, dude, just look down the list at the box score. Like, guys, DJ Turner, Alex Batchman, like who are these dudes? Harrison Bryant, like I've never heard of these guys before, and they're the leaders in receiving for them. Like it's just the Raiders are in a horrible state. Like whatever QB gets drafted to this team, dog, this is
I
just
hope it ain't Shador.
awful, bruh. If I'm Shador, I am not going to Vegas. Absolutely not. Like if they had Davante Adams, I'm like, all right, we can make it work. But dude, this team is horrible. They're
You
gonna have
honestly,
to make some
you honestly know
trades.
what they need to do.
What they need to do.
They may not want to. You got to trade Max Crosby. Get the most
Yeah.
value out of him because at this point, the season is a wash. You're wasting this man's career, and just trade him. Just get your 2 first or however much he goes for in the market, and then just fully embrace the rebuild, the tank and rebuild, because it's not looking good.
Yeah, I agree. Why would you pay Christian Wilkins all that money? Like he's great. Don't get me wrong. He is great. He's worth all the money. But 100 million when your team ain't no good, it's like I just don't understand why these organizations just not overspend, but like spend a lot of money on these players when you know your team is not going to compete. Like, don't get me wrong, like the trenches are very important, but what's so important about the trenches when you're already losing games? Like, you might as well just tank, be cheap, wait until next season, and then revamp. Like, why would you do that to yourself? It just makes no sense to me, man.
I
I
tell
just don't
Raiders
get it.
ownership, do not pull a Brian Burns. If someone call your phone saying is Max Crosby available, I give you 2 first and a second. You take that deal immediately. I'm not saying he
Hey,
going, I know Matt Clark, Matt locked him up with a contract, but I'm just saying, like, you got to do something to help the benefit of the future because right now it's looking very dreary.
yeah, it's looking very dreary. I hate to do this to you, Brian, but we got to go to the game.
Oh, yeah,
We
we
got
will
we got
we
to
will
go.
go to the game, Daggone it.
We got to
Let
go
me
to the
tell you
game.
something.
Lions
Let me
versus
sit up.
Cowboys.
Let me sit
What's
up
your
in my chair
reaction?
for this one.
Let's hear it.
That was, bar none, in my 23 years of living on this planet, the worst Cowboys performance I have ever had the displeasure of watching. I mean, seriously, I can't name more than one dude that had a good game that game. And you know who the one dude was? Brandon Aubrey, the kicker. What kind of team is this where your best player on the whole roster is a kicker? Are you crazy? You come, man. Let me tell you something. You barely escaped Pittsburgh. You win at the very last second against Pittsburgh. You probably start smelling yourself. You probably feeling yourself like, oh, the media giving us props. Well, man, the lines we got the line, and you got you almost said something that wasn't PG-13, but you got your butt whipped. You got your butt kicked badly at home. 47-9. You couldn't score a touchdown in garbage time. Are you kidding me? This is absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. That I literally I checked out. I checked out after the second quarter. The game was on, but the game was on the TV. I wasn't watching it. I was on my phone. I was looking at red. I was doing everything but watching this sorry performance. That is a shame, man. Seriously. They should have threw trash on the field. The fans should have threw trash on the sidelines and on the field after that performance. That was disgusting. And I want to say before I go further, um, it's unfortunate what happened to Aiden Hutchinson. Uh,
Yeah.
that's a freak accident. You never want to see that, no matter what the circumstances is. And the Lions, they played a pretty good game. They came in and beat the brakes off them like they should have. And I'll say, but back to them sorry Cowboys. We all knew the Lions was one of the better teams in the NFC. But the freaking Cowboys, the offense played trash. The defense was trash. I mean, for the love of God, Dak Prescott, you my man's and all, and I go to
Mm.
bat for you. But my dude, you cannot be turning the ball over like this. Granted, the first one, Brian Branch did make a heck of a play. I'll give him that. It was a pick your route option. But it seems like Dak this year, he making predetermined throws before the snap even the ball is even snapped. Oh my gosh. The most egregious thing on offense. Ezekiel Elliott complained this past week about his touches on offense. And what did Mike McCarthy and company do? They accommodated him, gave him majority of the work. Rico Dotto had 2 touches, 2 runs in the first half of the game. Are you kidding me? Let me tell you something, Zeke Elliott. I don't care who you are. I don't care if your mom, I don't care about none of that. Let me tell you something. You are washed. WASHED, your cooked food. I don't know who do you think you are. We appreciate what you did from 2016 to 2019, but you're cooked food, man. Give it up. I don't know what, I don't care. You just because you put 15 on your back, you ain't at Ohio State. All right. So this is ridiculous, man. You had the audacity to sit up here and complain to the coaches about opportunities and touches, and you come out and average 2 yards a carry. I could do that. Man, get out of here, dog. And oh my goodness, our defense, we all knew defense garbage. I can at least get a defense a little bit of leeway. You're missing a billion starters on defense. I already knew the defense. Y'all can't stop the run. Y'all was getting pushed around. Trayvon Diggs, you can't be serious with that effort tackling. You ain't won no parts. I don't. You just want to get interceptions. Apparently, you just want to get interceptions and do dances or whatever, or flex in the end zone. You don't want to tackle. You don't want to play physical football. But it is what it is. And the last thing I'm gonna say, Jerry Jones, for you to get on that radio show 10 I want to say it's 105.3 the fan and say you was gonna find somebody else to answer these questions because they ask you legitimately and tough questions, or that is insane. Like I was already through it, Jerry. I'm over it now. I'm completely over. I want them to lose every single game for the rest of the season. If that's how you want to treat people, you can learn a lot about a man of how he treats other people and his fellow man. And he just showed the absolute work. This is exactly what people say about billionaires and all this stuff. How they don't see people, they see people as beneath them. You won't sit up there and get mad at these people saying it's not your job. It is their job, Jerry. It is their job. They want to know why in the world that you talk all this cash over the offseason, how nobody can do this and how nobody get these deals done. But yeah, this is the product that's on the field. We getting blown out by nearly 40 points at home. And this ain't the first time this happened this season. It's the second time. And the Ravens almost blew us out too. But Dak had to put the backpack on. You ain't do nothing. You saw Green Bay come in your trap on a wild card weekend as the overwhelming favorite, and then you want to bring back Mike McCarthy. You don't want to change nothing to the roster, and then now you don't want to answer the questions on the radio. You wanted all the attention, Jerry. Here you go. We can't just give you all the props when stuff go well, and then turn the left cheek when stuff going wrong. That's not how this works. This is the position you put yourself in. You the one taking post-game interviews after the game. What kind of GM does that? Aaron, you know any other GMs taking post-game interviews after the game?
Nah, I haven't seen that.
I don't.
No, that's crazy.
So this is the culture you built. Now you got to answer for it, and you got the audacity to get mad at us and try to come at not just the radio media, people, content creators. He was coming at content creators, saying they don't know what's going on.
Damn.
What?
What the hell?
See, the mask is finally slipping, and I'm glad people are starting to see who this man really is. This dude that puts on this bravado. This man, forget all that. We all know what you are at the end of the day, Jerry. That is disgusting, and I'm disgusted watching this team. Everyone wants you to quit, and it's probably eating at your soul. It's eating at your soul that the fans don't want you here, because everyone's so used to everybody kissing your butt because of Jerry Jones. You run this one of the most highly valued teams in the world, and we don't care about no more. It's over. This ain't the 90s. The mystique of the Cowboys is done. People are seeing for what you are. Teams are smelling blood in the water. They walking in your trap, and they taking over your trap. They re-renovating it, and they buying out the stands in the crowd. And this is exactly what you deserve, Jerry, for all your ineptitude, lack of care, and arrogance. This is exactly what you get, because we all know the pride comes before the fall, and the Cowboys will fall this year. I can guarantee you.
Well, damn. It is 9:28 at night. My man Brian just gave Jerry Jones an ether, just completely destroyed him. Boy, oh boy. Oh man, that was great. That was really great. I don't know what else to say about that. I guess I'll just talk about the Lions. I mean, you pretty much said everything you need to know about the Cowboys. Good God, that was an amazing rant. I just need to put the Ether soundtrack on the background, because man, oh man, or not like us, or Meet the Grahams instrumental in the background, because boy, oh boy, that was something else. But yeah, man, the Lions, they were just dominant this entire game. Even when Aiden Hutchinson went down, it did not matter. They were just doing everything they wanted this game. And yeah, Jared Goff, he was being Jared Goff. He was tremendous. 315, 3 touchdowns, 153 quarterback rating. Like, I mean, what more can you say about this? He was fantastic. And yeah, Cowboys couldn't stop him. That's really all it is. I don't really need to say much about that. It was just a murder scene. What Drake said, murder scene on your
murder scene on your man tonight. They come to visit with the candlelight.
Oh my God!
Body after body, and Dan Campbell reading the Miranda rights. At least I don't have to.
That'll end it.
I don't. At least I don't have to worry about no freaking Cowboys football this week.
Yeah, I think we can end it on that note. Let's move on to the other game. Falcons versus Panthers. Don't really need to spend a whole lot of time on this one. The Falcons offense continues to get better week after week. It seems like they are finally finding an identity. They're able to run the ball very effectively. Tyler Algier was able to get it going. Bijan Robinson was able to get it going. They just, there seems to be balance with this. All, look, I have to preface my comments. It is the Panthers, but it is a divisional. They're an NFL team, so you got to respect them at the end of the day. And they were in a nail biting game for majority of the game, but then the fourth quarter came around. Atlanta, they were like, all right, let's lock in. They scored 10 points to Carolina's 0, and they won 38-20. I was really impressed by just the Atlanta Falcons, man. Like, this offense, Kirk Cousins only threw for 1 touchdown, but they were able to get to the red zone a lot of times. And the running game that I said in the previous week about the fact that the way that that Kirk Cousins was throwing the ball and all these receivers were getting it going, it's not a recipe for success. It was an amazing moment, but in order to get where you need to be, you need the running game. You need Bijan to get it going. You need Tyler Algier. That's exactly what they did, and I think that's the best version of the Falcons if they can get the running game going. Drake London, he's getting involved in the offense. 6 receptions, 74 yards, and a touchdown. It's just a lot of good signs. Kyle Pitts, another game, 3 receptions for 70 yards. What did we, man? Last year they had Desmond Ridder and Taylor Heineke, and they were in purgatory. And see, this is what we thought.
And then they draft Michael Penix in the first round, and the fan base went crazy. But look at them now.
And they got a new head coach. They got a new head coach, a new offensive coordinator. This is what we thought the Jets were going to be. We thought, hey, you get Aaron Rodgers, you plug him in, and the offense is supposed to be great. But with the
similarities are pretty funny because they get a veteran QB, sign him to a big contract. They got first round talent at the receiving core, and they also got a pretty good running back too. So
yeah. The difference is coaching. Falcons just have a better coaching staff, and that's just how it is. You gotta salute them, man. So shout out to the Falcons. They're really getting it going. I just couldn't stand not seeing Drake London get involved in his offense because I know how talented he is. Kyle Pitts as well, because he deserves it. He's been just in QB purgatory since he's been in the league. And Bijan Robinson finally having a head coach and an offensive coordinator that knows how to scheme running game and doesn't do the same old basic runs and stuff.
What I want to know is, I wonder if they went away from like the more outside zone runs that they would use and try to do more in between the tackle stuff. That's what I want to see if I can look up some stats on that, because him and Algier both had a really good game.
They did. Bijan with 15 carries and Algier had more. He had 18 carries, so they were really leaning on the run. 6.3 yards per carry for Bijan Robinson, 5.8 yards per carry for Algier. So it was tremendous game for them. And there's not really much I can really say about the Panthers except that they're just not a good football team, and that, hey, at least Chuba Hubbard, he was all right. I mean, I know I said his name wrong, but he was all right. I mean, 18 carries for 92 yards, 5 yards per carry. I mean, I think Deontay Johnson got it going. Too. Deontay Johnson got it going, and Xavier Legette, he had a touchdown. So I mean, hey, at least that's some bright spot. But overall,
like
Carolina Panthers,
like we said at the beginning of the season, we just want to see some kind of improvement. Right. Unfortunately, it came at the expense of Bryce Young having to be benched.
They're probably going to have to draft a QB next season, which is unfortunate for Bryce Young because, they drafted him number 1 overall. But that's just a life you got to deal with being a quarterback in the NFL. They move on fast. Just going to have to deal with it. All right, let's see what we got. We're getting to the end of it all. Bengals and Giants.
Oh brother, that game stunk.
This game was I didn't even watch this game. First of all, I got a notification from my phone that it was like a 40-something yard, like yard run or something for a touchdown. I'm like, is this Jamar Chase? Is this Chase Brown? Is this Zach Moss? I'm like, Joe Burrow. I'm like, what? I'm like, there's no way the Giants are this god awful. And I go on Twitter and I see the run from Joe Burrow, I'm like, this dude got no acceleration at all, and y'all let him get a 40+ yard touchdown run.
I don't even think you
This is
could do that on Madden.
this is why the Giants are the Giants. This is why they 2-4 for stuff like this. The
Yeah.
Bengals offense wasn't even all that good, like 17 points against the
Nope.
Giants, and they still won. Yeah. Joe Burrow didn't even have a touchdown. Like, he didn't even have a passing touchdown, and they still won. The Giants are just inept. Daniel Jones is trash.
Yeah, Daniel
And that's
Jones
that.
definitely played like the Daniel Jones we know that
They
game. But
lost
my
Andrew
goodness.
Thomas, which is just very, like, good God, how are they going to protect Daniel Jones now? You lose your best
Yeah,
offensive lineman, your left tackle, you're all pro. Yeah,
cook
it's a
food.
wrap. It's a wrap. They might as well get ready to continue to continue to tank for a QB, because this is a lost season. We knew it was a lost season when they started Daniel Jones, but it's inevitable now. Like, there's no escaping it. I think Brian Dable, like, he's not the reason that they're in this position, but boy, oh boy, you can continue to lose like that. The owner, he don't give a damn. He gonna be like, hey, the results are the results. Yeah, that's really much it. I can't really say much else about this game. I mean, it's just two bad football teams. Just one is a tad better, and they have Joe Burrow. There's nothing really much to say about that.
You see that face Joe Burrow made after that touchdown too? Like, bro, brother,
Yeah,
this fake
yeah, yeah,
aura.
yeah. Everybody want to be fake demon.
Exactly.
Come
Fake
on
demon.
now. Yeah. All right. Last game on the list. We kind of touched on this already, but Bills versus Jets Monday night. It was just a bad game from both sides, but ultimately the better team prevailed, which was the Bills. We both picked the Bills to win this game. The Jets offense was a lot better. I mean, Aaron Rodgers had 294 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Like, he hasn't had that at all besides this past Monday night. So that was good. Brees Hall, the running game was tremendous. He looked like the old Brees Hall. He had 113 yards running on 18 carries. Alan Lazard, funny enough, had the most receiving yards. Why? Because him and Aaron Rodgers have that connection. But Garrett Wilson also had a good day as well, so we can't ignore that. Garrett Wilson has been getting involved in his offense too these past 2 weeks, and with Nathaniel Hackett finally not calling plays, that terrorist, the offense just looks a lot better. And I believe with the addition of Davante Adams, like I said before, they're only going to get better. And they lost the game, but the season's not over yet, so they can still look forward to the remainder of the season. They're 2-4, but they still have time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Josh Allen, he didn't have James Cook. He was able to
Nope.
survive this game. And the difference between this year and last year is that he didn't throw 3 picks this time.
That
You
is
know, I
true.
had Josh Allen last year, and he threw 3 picks, and I was pissed off. Like, the first game of the year, and they still lost. Josh Allen lost to Zach Wilson. That just lets you know, number one, the circumstances the Bills were in last year, and just Josh Allen and his maturity and his ability to not put the ball in harm's way, because he was just some of them throws that first game last year was some of the worst throws you could ever make in order to get intercepted. So, yep, that's it, really. That'll do it for week 6. I want to give our predictions for the Thursday night game for week 7.
Oh, this
Let
is
me
a
see.
nasty game. Broncos and Saints. Oh, brother.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not watching that game. I'm not. See, I wish there was like a good movie out right now. That's one of the weeks where, like, you go watch a movie or something, but there's no like good movie out right now. Yeah, Denver and New Orleans. Good God Almighty. Oh my God. I don't even know if I want to put money on that game. I don't even think I'll put money on that game. That's one of them
I
games
wouldn't shoot.
you just don't put money on it at all. Like, ugh. Damn, who do I have winning this game? Do I go with the rookie? Oh man, it's like a coin flip
Rookie
for
versus
me.
rookie. I'm gonna go with the Broncos simply because they got the better defense um and Broncos defense is definitely better than the Tampa Bay defense. I'll tell you that much. And Spencer Rattler's going to have to clean up these turnovers, but it's going to be tough. I don't think Chris Olave is going to be playing. Isn't he in concussion protocol or
Yeah,
something?
something like
And yeah, he's
concussion
not going to
protocol.
play.
He's
So
not gonna
you're
play.
going to
No.
be you're going to be missing your number one offensive target and
Mhm.
going against PS2. Yeah,
Good
PS2
luck.
coming. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, good luck. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. I don't see the Saints
Yeah.
really winning this one.
I'm gonna go with the Broncos as well. I just look at it from like Bo Nix. He's more experienced. He's played a lot more football than Spencer Rattler. They have the better coaching. They have the better defense. So I think because of that, even though they're on the road, I just think the Broncos are going to win this game going away. It's going to be an ugly game. It's not going to be a pretty game. They're going to rely on the running game. They're going to rely on that defense. And Bo Nix, as long as he doesn't put the ball in harm's way, they should win this game going away. And without Chris Olave, I also heard that Rashid Shaheed, he's dealing with the injury, but he's going to play.
Mm,
And
okay.
yeah, they just got so much stuff going on right now in New Orleans. I just think the vibe in New Orleans is just not right now, and I feel like with the Broncos, they still feel like they're in the thick of things in the playoff picture. I like the Broncos in this game.
Yeah,
All right, all
pretty cut
right.
and dry.
So let's get to. I think this is the final segment, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. Every week we like to give a shout out to a few players that showed up the past week, but we do it different. We call it saluting. Brian, who are you saluting for this week?
All right, so my salutes for this week. First, we're gonna start it off with Caleb Williams, rookie QB, man, going to London and showing them boys what American football looks like. Throwing 4 touchdowns, only 1 interception, only 6 incompletions on the game. Really starting to pick it up. It seems like he's getting better week after week after week. And so salute Caleb Williams. On the next one, we have a Raven, and it's not Derrick Henry, it's Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson, he's making a very, very, very strong case for MVP. You may look at the box score and be like, "Oh, he ain't doing this." If you got to watch the game, that's why you got to watch the game. That one interception was a good ball tipped up by the receiver, and hey, look what happened. But Lamar is running away with the MVP at this point, putting together good weeks. He was getting it done through the air and through the ground. He got Zay Flowers had 132 yards. Like he was just unstoppable against that Commanders defense. And I did say the Raven wasn't Derrick Henry. I lied. Derrick Henry is the third salute of the week. 100 and let me pull up these numbers so I don't get my dog stats wrong. Let me pull these numbers up.
Man.
132 yards on the ground. Two, not one, but 2 touchdowns. Listen, Derrick Henry may be old, but he's playing as young as he ever been. And so that's what I'm gonna say for my 3 salutes of the week. Caleb
Man.
Williams, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. We may call that black excellence where I'm from.
Man. 3 weeks of Derrick Henry
I
on the
know,
salute
right?
segment. That's your favorite player. Good God.
He's earned
Sheesh.
it every week after week. He
Yes,
continues to
he
put
really
these impressive
has.
performances up. Some honorable mentions. I'm gonna do a 1 or 2 honorable mentions. One was going to be Chris Godwin because he had a pretty
Mm.
freaking good game too, and the other one was going to be who was it? Who was it? No, I think it was just Chris Godwin. I think it was just Chris Godwin. Yeah.
I will say you're missing somebody.
Uh-oh.
You're missing somebody. You need to
Let me
show
guess.
him love,
Jordan Love.
man. You need to show him love. You know what I'm
I was
saying?
going to
Full
put Jordan
touchdown
Love,
pass.
but
It's the Cardinals.
I was going to put Jordan Love, but I was like, I'm gonna go with Lamar and Derrick Henry.
That's fair. That's fair.
Jordan Love,
I mean,
I'll put Jordan Love as an honorable mention. He's an honorable mention.
okay. All right. Great. Well,
You should give your salutes too.
all right.
You should start
I'll do
doing that.
that.
You should start
I'll
doing
do
that.
that.
moving
All
forward.
right, I'll do that. Well, I mean, I'll let you do it because you're known for saluting
Ah,
so much.
okay, got you.
But
Yeah,
I feel
salute.
like it's your
Okay, I
segment.
got you. I
It's
got
your
you. Okay,
own like
how
special
about we
segment.
do? Maybe we could do like a cooked food segment or fraud watch.
Okay.
We could bring the fraud watch back.
Fraud watch, fraud watch. Okay, yeah, we could do that for sure. I think I might do that. I just got to
Okay.
see how I do my research on it. But you know what? That's a great idea. We got to bring that back because we used to do videos on that. All right. There's anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Uh, just a little quick tip. What a week of college football. What a weekend of college football.
Man,
A lot of
yeah,
good games. And then there was
that Colorado
Texas and
game.
Oklahoma. That was a slaughter. But yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
good games this week.
that Colorado game. Oh my God, Shador, why'd you have to throw it to the receiver? Why'd you have to do it? Why? Why'd you have to do it, man? Come on. Why'd you have to do it? You're supposed to win the game. Why'd you have to force down the field? He almost had it. He almost had it. But Shador, he almost carried his team to a victory. No Travis Hunter. He
Yeah,
was missing one of his other best receiver. He looks like the number one QB to me. I don't see anybody better than him. I like Cam Ward, but he doesn't have the tools like Shador Sanders. So that's what I got from this weekend for me. But yeah, thank you guys for
Don't worry,
watching.
Ashton JT. The
Yeah,
Cowboys are on the way. We are on the way. Stay put.
man, y'all need defense. Y'all need somebody on the D line.
Why
Your
not
D
both?
line is man, get somebody in the first round. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys in the next episode of Courtside View Podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, and follow the socials as well. And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.
Salute.
All right.